I'm here with
Danny.
And you are watching the Roundtable Active Affair. And we just wanted to come on the Roundtable and let you guys know why we decided to decode the crime verse. I mean, of all the things we could have done.
All the topics, we chose crime.
And it's not because we are criminals, in case you guys are wondering.
Yeah, please note, I do not have a criminal record.
I do not have a body count, no teardrops as they do in America when they kill people.
I haven't attempted a heist.
Not at all. I haven't planned one.
No, I said I haven't attempted. I didn't say I didn't plan.
I know, that's why I coughed after I said planned, because that one. What attracts you to crime?
Well, basically, I think the first thing is I'm a history geek.
Yeah.
A history geek on steroids. And one of the things in history is crime.
Yeah.
And I think the first case I ever got me involved was when I found out about Jack the Ripper. And then I started deep diving and stuff like that. So for me, like all the details and stuff like that, it's like learning stuff in history classroom, which I absolutely adore. I mean, it's a bit more gory.
Yeah.
But I suppose World War I was gory.
Gory, yeah.
But I like that. But then the second thing is the mindset behind it. What made these people do what they do? What made them go and rob this bank, kill this person, do this, do that, do that? So yeah, for me it's the history and how it relates to history, and if it actually had any effect on history, because there are cases where they've actually had big effects on history, and then also the mindset behind it. Why, how did this happen? Why do we have serial killers? Why do we have these things happen in the world? So I think that's, for me, is the biggest reason that I've been drawn to crime or true crime.
I think for me as well, the same. I didn't do history in school. I don't know why. Because I love history.
What is wrong with you?
I thought history was so boring in school. I was like, what? I'm going to sit in a class and learn what?
History was the only subject I paid attention to.
I thought it was boring, so I didn't take it. But after school, I realized my passion for history when I would start searching up on history. And then I remember the first thing that drew me into crime. I was watching a serial killer. I wish I could remember for the life of me. I can't.
Which one?
Who? Because there's so many. When I remember his name, we'll put it down in the comments below. But I was watching a serial killer interview, and they were actually doing an interview with him, and just like there was no depth in his eyes, it was just darkness, and his answers were so. There was no remorse.
Yeah, no guilt.
No guilt. And for me, that intrigued me because I was like, why? What is the psychology of this person that even after they've been caught and convicted, there's no repentance? It's just like,
I'll do it again.
Yeah,
I'll do it again.
Basically.
Exactly.
And for me, that's what drew me in. And then from there, I was like, I need to get into the minds, but also just watching stuff like Alcatraz and seeing
Criminal Minds.
Watching stuff like Prison Break and all of that got me interested, and also Suits as well, because they also deal with crime. Well, that all got me interested.
I think that's another thing is also absolutely one of my favorite genres to read, watch is mystery. I'm like the biggest mystery geek on the planet. You can ask me about anything and I'll probably be able to tell you a whole essay about mystery novels and stuff like that. So I think that also played a role in it, that I was like, oh, these are like mysteries, but they're real life mysteries. Like, especially like the unsolved ones. Like, can I solve it?
Can I do it?
Can I do it? Like, so I think that's another factor, but crime is interesting.
I want to ask you a question. So in history, we have people like Stalin, we have people like Hitler, and these people murdered on a mass scale. Obviously not personally, maybe sometimes personally, but most of the stuff was done through their people. If they weren't presidents of their country, do you think they'd actually become serial killers? If they didn't make it that far up?
Well, I feel like there's not often a lot on people before they become these big leaders. I do, however, with Stalin, I know, for example, when Stalin died, he, I think, heart attack.
Yeah, he had a heart attack and they were too afraid to
They were too afraid to help him in case he woke up and then would shoot them. So
you died because people are afraid to help keep you alive.
So I don't know. I feel like
Is there something in their psychology, maybe, that would drive them to do crime regardless of the power?
Well, for example, like, let's say Hitler.
Yeah.
We spoke about on our show how there's different types of serial killers, and one of the types of serial killers you get is mission-orientated. Hitler was very mission-orientated.
Yeah.
He had the thing of the Aryan race, I want people with blue eyes and blonde hair, and Jews are basically to blame for all the world's problems. That's basically a summary of Mein Kampf, his book. So, I don't know, maybe if he didn't become this radical leader, he might have killed people who weren't blonde-haired and blue eyes. Again, this is all very hypothetical, we don't know.
Because for me, it's like the mission would have still been in him. He would have just failed because he wasn't able to get into presidency, if that was his idea. But the mission is still burning in your heart.
So it would have been like a lower scale. So actually, I feel like Hitler could have been. Stalin, however, Stalin just wanted communism.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a mission to kill a specific type of people. I mean, he hated capitalists because all communists hate capitalists. It's just a thing. But like, he didn't have a very mission-orientated like Hitler did.
Yeah.
He obviously wanted communism to become the world order and for all countries to be under communism and for Russia to be like the mother of it. But so yeah, again, I feel like maybe Hitler, maybe Stalin would have. I feel like Stalin would have been a criminal because of just his personality. And he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like Hitler would have been more along the lines to become a serial killer than Stalin. But I mean, there's so many people in history that you could actually decode and try to see if their motives would have led somewhere. I mean, they are criminals. What they did to humanity was absolutely atrocious. But they're a different type of criminal.
Yeah.
It's also very interesting to try and see. Again, guys, if you don't like history, what is wrong with you? It's so interesting.
It is. And obviously our show is not only about murderers. So far, we've only spoken about murderers, but we're going to go on to all things crime. And I'm very excited to do the 1930s as well.
1930s, I love the 1930s, but for me, the 1920s with the gangsters, the speakeasy, the prohibition. If I could try and travel, you would catch me in the 1920s. I'm not even lying.
Yeah.
I would go tomorrow. If you came and knocked on the door, we go, let's
go right now.
Catch me, Gatsby
era.
Catch me. So it's not just about serial killers, it's about crime in general. The show's not decoding murderers, it's decoding the crime verse. And that's because there's such a range of crime.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, there's robberies or heists, there's prison breakouts, there's murderers, there's kidnappings. So we've got it all. We decode it all.
And that is what the crime verse is about. In 8 minutes, somewhere there, we've summed up the show. So make sure that you go to Active FM and go and listen to all the shows. But because you're on YouTube, why haven't you subscribed? Like, what are you waiting for?
What is this?
And can you comment
Welcome
below
to the 21st century.
And let us know your thoughts. But from Noelzii-lee
and Danny, rest in peace.
All pieces.